Hello, everyone. I'm back again. Because apparently I just got a message from someone, I'm not going to say any names, about a post that I put about ideal. What I mean is just give up on someone just because the situation is not ideal. But I'm going to say the whole saying that I posted on there, then I'm going to explain it to get more clarity and understanding, because it does say in the word, be prepared to give an answer, and I have to give an answer for it. You just can't give up on someone just because the situation is not ideal. Great relationships aren't great because there's no problems. Oh, Jesus, help me. Put a while out on y'all. Because there are no problems. They're great because both people care enough about the other person to find a way to make it work. Oh. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say it again. And then we're going into dissection mode. So, and for those who are coming in, it's just a heart-to-heart response, because someone asked me about a post that I put on there talking about an ideal situation. So I'm, rather than going back and forth in the inbox or whatever, I just chose, and I'm not saying no name, and I just chose to come on live to explain my post and explain what I'm saying. You just can't give up on someone just because the situation is not idle. Great relationships aren't great because they have no problems. They're great because both people care enough about the other person to find a way to make it work. That's the thing. Just because the relationship is not ideal, I had said this a little bit in my I had said this earlier today when I did my heart-to-heart talk, aka my way of saying Bible study session. It's the way of everybody wants to be in the perfect position. Everybody want the perfect man, the perfect woman, the perfect career, perfect business. Want everything to be so perfect that you have no problems in it. Now let me tell you, every situation that we go in is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be as great as we want it to be. Every situation is going to have its ups and downs and its own problems. Like I'm going to say it again. Every problem situation is going to have its ups and downs. There's going to be some flaws and mistakes about people that still have to be worked on daily. But everybody wants to come in when everything, this whole situation is perfect. I'm going to give an example. Now, I don't want to make nobody feel bad. But then again, like I like to say, make the flesh mad and the spirit rejoice. People want to come in when everything is complete. When there's no work that needs to be done. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw it out here like this. I'm going to be 1K with it. Everybody wants to come in, wants them a good man or a good woman or a good business or career. But yet and still, they don't want to do what I like to say, put the work in. They don't want to work to understand. They don't want to work to comprehend. They don't want to work to be able to communicate and want the situation to work out it could be a great situation. Every situation is not going to be perfect. Every situation is going to have its problems. Everything's going to have ups and downs. There's always something about somebody that has to be worked on. But the problem is, the thing about it, both people have to care and love each other enough to be able to find a way for it to work through these issues together. Work through your career, how you elevate, work through it. If you have to be around the right people, talk to them people and say, how do I elevate and how do I have a better business or have a better career? You have to work with people who wants to see a better version of yourself. You have to be willing to work with people in order for you to grow, in order for you to become a better version of yourself. That's the ideal situation. But nobody don't want to put the work in. Everything, they want everything to be done without them having to put no work in. You can't say you want a relationship but don't have to put no work in. You can't sit here and say that. You want to be married. You want to be the good significant other. You want to be the good spouse, but yet and still you don't want to put no type of work in, expect everything to be perfect, or expect it to be a one-sided matter when one person doing everything and the other person just have to sit back, look pretty, and call it a day. That's what we come to these days. Idea is the situation is you being able to be open to work on particular flaws about one another. Work on these together. Like saying, oh, teamwork makes the dream work. But you can't be in something if you're not willing to be a team player, not willing to be together on a team. Relationship is teamwork. Marriage is definitely teamwork. I'm gonna say that again. Relationship requires teamwork. Definitely, marriage requires teamwork. If you can't work as a team just in the relationship phase, get ready for a marriage to fall apart. If you can't even work together and have a good friendship with someone before that relationship comes in, get ready for that relationship to fall apart. And part of the ideal situation too is both people being held accountable and responsible for their choices and decisions that they say and the things that they do. When someone is not willing to be open and willing to be responsible or hold themselves responsible and vice versa of their actions, their choices of now or in their past, and not willing to be a man or a woman to be held themselves accountable for their actions or why they're in situations that they're in, imagine how it's going to be starting now, moving forward, because the person don't want to be held, the person don't want to be pointed out and held accountable. It's easy to point out everybody else's flaws and mistakes, but we don't want to face our own. We say it's not about me, it's about you working on yourself. No, it's about you working on yourself as well. While God is actually dealing with that person that you wanted so bad, that you craved and desired and wanted so bad. I'm always looking at situations as this. Once I hand somebody over to God, I'm not touching it. I say, you God, you work on them. And I know you need to work on me. I take accountability and responsibility for the choices and decisions that I made that put me in the positions and the situations that I am today. I know the choices and decisions I made back when I was a teenager and in my young 20s put me in the position and the mindset that I am now. Because when I was in my young 20s, when I was like 19, between 19, 21, 22, I wasn't taking no accountability or responsibility for the choices and decisions that I made. I always looked and blamed everybody else and their grandma. But they didn't want to look in the mirror and say, what got me in this situation? Easy, me. No offense to parents. No offense to those who had kids before wedlock or whatever. Why I'm in this situation that the other parent of my child don't want to do their inner responsibility. All right, that's me. Because I made a wrong choice and had a child with someone and then even take the time to really absorb and learn and see if they're going to be a good parent. Or good for me, even if it didn't work out. I want them to still be the best parent for the child as possible, for our child. I don't got no kids, but I'm just saying. People get mad and upset when sometimes they have to look in the mirror and say, well, I picked this man, I picked this woman to have a child with. Now I have to deal with it. Yes, you got to deal with the consequences of the choices that we make. The ideal situation is never going to be perfect. But we have to be more careful of the choices that we make. Being in an ideal situation is being open to be willing to be responsible and accountable for our choices and decisions. Because in the word it says we're going to be held accountable for everything we say and we do. And that's If I'm wrong for it, let me know, Lord. And that's in Acts. If it ain't in Acts, it's in Romans. You gotta be more alert, be more aware, and learn about the person and learn about the situation. Stop being all googly eyed, Google gaga. Start letting your flesh take over, and you wind up making the wrong choice, and then you want to blame that person for the choice that you made. No. Here's the thing about situations. Here's the thing. Devil can't make us do anything. The devil can't make us do anything. Nobody can make us do anything. It's a choice and decision that we make. But we often make too many decisions based upon the things that we see and we lust after, and not the things that we know. I said this a while back, a good set of days ago, when I said this. I'm being honest. We all worried about the looks of it, but we get hurt by the things that we don't know about what it looks like. It may look good. It may, oh yes, I gotta get it, girl. Oh, I gotta get it, man, homeboy. I gotta get it. But if you don't take the time to, get to know what you're looking at, you're just gonna fall for what you see and not what you know. You're gonna get hurt by what you don't see. That's how people get hurt, by what they don't see. That's how people make bad choices, because they see it, they want it, but don't know what they're getting themselves into. Even to a point, I seen somebody post on my page on there. I said, "Oh, we like what we see." I'm like, and that's how you got hurt. That's how you got damaged. That's how you get damaged, because you're going for the things that you see, and seeing it did some damage to you, didn't it? So being in the ideal situation is knowing what you're getting yourself into, understanding who and what we're getting ourselves into. That's why we also got to have a spirit of discernment. It may look good, but is it good for us? Or I'm gonna say it like this: it may look good, but just because it look good doesn't mean it's good for us. We also say, oh, we think the grass is greener on the other side, but in the fact of it's only greener on the area that we keep up. Meaning, you may think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's a deception. Or a key saying I like to say is, we're dealing with a wolf in sheep's clothing situation. It means, in English terms, in a way everybody can understand, is it means in the saying, all these cars going fast by me, almost made me lose my chin. It means it may look good at the beginning. It may present itself in a way that it grabs our attention and try to keep our attention long enough. But then as you go deeper and deeper into the situation, the wolf begins to reveal itself. The person reveals its true intentions. As you go deeper, they do everything to grab your attention. They do everything to try to keep it long enough or deceive you long enough until that wolf decides to really begin to reveal itself. Was that the idea? Was it an ideal situation you thought about when you first got into it or seen it? This is stuff that we gotta pay more attention to, and this is stuff that we need to have more of a spirit of discernment of. Because, like I said, one person said they wasn't physically attracted to me. Fine. I said this before. I may be physically attracted. Somebody may be physically attractive to me. Somebody else may be physically attracted to me. But I'm not always going by physical. What does your heart look like? The idea is to know what the person's heart look like in this matter. What does that personality is? What does that heart look like? What's the intentions? Why are you trying to do this? Why are you trying to get with me? Why are you trying to be committed to me? Why are you trying to be committed to having this business? Why are you trying to be committed to having this good career? If you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you want it, you see, because it look good and it pays good. But what's the intentions for pursuing it? What's the intentions of pursuing it? What's the idea of it? I'm telling you, that's stuff that that goes on, that needs to be taught about. That needs to be talked about. Even, forgive me if I'm wrong for saying it, God, how churches always hover around particular topics, but don't want to really go on, do some research, because there's some people dealing with depression, somebody dealing with homelessness, somebody dealing with lack of confidence, somebody dealing with low self-esteem, dealing with all this other stuff that prevents us from doing the other stuff. But all we worrying about is, are you still paying your tithes and offering? Are you still coming to the house of the Lord? Are you still getting in the word? You saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled? That's part of the ordeal. But when you constantly doing this, but sometimes certain particular word or teachings may don't apply to everybody else. Maybe there's something that needs to be said. That's why I teach on stuff that needs to be talked about, but I relate particular topics and things I like talking about into a message by using the word to back up what I'm talking about. So let's come back before I really wild out. Let's come back. But what it means to be in an ideal situation is a situation that you love and care about each other to work it out. But don't put yourself in a situation that is going to do more harm than good. People can apologize. People can say they can change, but everything has that word. You can apologize all you want to. You can say you change all you want to. But there's one word that comes with it, and it applies to what you say. Easy. Change. You say you are sorry. You say you sorry. You say you're going to change. But the word that's going to come with it is action. Apply it. Sorry doesn't fully come into effect unless you put the action into it. It means if you apologize for busting somebody upside their head. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry for busting you upside your head. But if I keep busting you upside your head, I'm not sorry. And I have not changed my habit and my behavior. But if I bust you upside your head one time and it got to you and you telling me to stop and I apologize for busting you upside your head, guess what? I should change my action, change my habit. So, I'm not busting you upside your head no more. I'm not. That's the thing. That is the thing. When you apologize, it should always be a change. When you're in the ideal situation, get in the ideal situation. Now both of you have to do some changing in order for it to manifest and for it to work out. If you're the only one that's changing, this person still staying the same and telling you, oh, you got to just accept me for who I am. What tells you about your choice making and the situation you just place yourself in. If someone is not willing to change to be better and to be effective and better the relationship, people need to start using my church parking lot for them to do their U-turns. Anywho, but sorry about that. That was supposed to be a mental note for myself. But what I'm saying is, we look for the perfect situation, ideal situation we really want to be in. We can't want to be in a perfect ideal situation if everything being perfect and there's never no problems. Relationships are great, marriages are great because two people are caring and love each other enough to work the issues out, to make necessary changes in order for the marriage to become better. The not so good idea situation is to put yourself in a situation because of what you see and what they got going on. Because like I said, I told when I was doing a little counseling, like I told this person, Just because you like what they got going on, how they look, and all that, but what's behind it? What is it about that person? Just because they got going on don't mean they got a jacked up personality. Because some of the people do have a jacked up personality. Everybody have a particular type of person they want to be around, or people they want to be around. They want to be in this type of field. They want to have this type of business. But then, rather than doing something that they enjoy doing or enjoy having, they do it based upon what everybody else is doing. They're around these type of people based upon because of what because of the type of people they are around. If you're around people that run the streets, if you want to be committed to somebody who runs the streets, but you want them at home, that's an issue. That's not an ideal situation. I'm just throwing it as an example. But we do have a lot of that. People want to be with people who run the streets and go party all the time, but expect them to settle down. No, my brother, no, my sister. That says they're not ready to settle down. When your mindset is set to, I'm finna chill out, I'm just finna work, better myself, be better for my kids, yada, yada, yada. But you're dealing with somebody who running the streets and running the parties and running the clubs all the time, and it's getting to the point that you're worrying about what they're doing when you're not around them. You put yourself in a not so great ideal situation. And you just hoping and praying that they come home. You hoping and praying they don't make dumb choices while they out. You praying and hoping that this person is going to settle down with you. Oops. But never apply pressure to somebody to settle down with you, because all they're going to do, they'll do it just to shut you up and not do it for love. That's not an ideal situation. Then you're going to be like, why did you get with me? Why did you commit to me? Why did you marry me? This is not the ideal situation. I did it to shut you up. 1. 2, I did it because they don't want to lose out on the good thing. They want to keep the good thing and still go through their thing. Oops. Did I tell on some people? Because like I said, sometimes some encouraging words and some messages is not always meant to make you feel good. It's meant for you to confront and face issues that's within you. The choices and decisions that you made. We may think that we over it and do it, but somehow, some way, even with me, I'm like, when stuff is being preached, and I hear it, I'm like, oh, Jesus, stepped on my foot. That was me. Yeah. Flesh get mad, but your spirit rejoice. That's why I always say that. Spirit gets mad, and the flesh the flesh get mad and the spirit rejoice. Flesh get mad, spirit rejoice, because the spirit is being fed what it needs to know, what it needs to hear, and not the wants. Because sometimes it's good to have wants, but sometimes them wants have tendencies to get you in trouble. And it's done that plenty of time. My wants had tendencies to get me in trouble. And it got to the point I need to do what it needs to be done, not what I want. I have a want, but I'd rather be the right one. But some wants that comes up and happens in the due season. But right now, this is what I need. This is what I need to do. This is what God needs me to do right now. People don't always want to hear these type of messages. They always don't want to take heed to it, but it's out there. People tell it to you to make you feel good and not tell you what you need to confront. People always have issues that's going on in them. that I need you to work on this. I need you to work on. That's what God is saying. That's all it's being saying. I need you to work on this. Better yet, hand it over to me so I can work on it and you work on it together. I know I'm God. I know what you need. I know what you want. But I just don't want you doing it on your own. Because you continue to do it on your own, you're going to tend to make yourself hurt worse and dig yourself a deeper hole. So ideal situation is to know when to hand it over to God. Ideal situation is to know what and who the heck you're dealing with. Ideal situation is to know pros and cons as well of the situation and of the person. Because when people just go for it based upon what they see and not what they know, they hurt themselves. Because the other person ain't going to give a two flip flying pennies care if you're hurt. You're heartbroken. Why you break it off, or you call it off, or they call it off, they going on about to the next person. Why you pent up in the corner, heartbroken and crying over something that, being honest, God probably never was meant for you to have. Not to say be mean about it, but sometimes there are some people in some places, some things that we don't need to have, goals, people that we don't need to have around us, places that we don't need to go to no more, and things that we don't need to have no longer. Ideal situation. It may sucks, it may hurt, but part of the healing process begins with confession. One more time. Confession is the beginning process of healing. Confessions is the beginning process of healing. Oh no. I know there's somebody back there saying, Mr. Eric, what do you mean that confession is the beginning of healing? What I mean, and I'm getting off because I know Bamfly, I got to get ready to go in here for Bible study. What I mean for confession is the beginning of Bible, is beginning of healing, is being able to confess that you have an issue. How can an alcoholic, a drug addict, and a smoke addict be able to get over their addiction? They have to confess they have an addiction. Alcohol. Oh, example. Oh, I'm an alcoholic. I don't want to drink no more. I don't want to get drunk no more. I don't want to drink beer no more. I don't want to drink liquor no more. Beginning process. Beginning process. The beginning process is confession, meaning I confess I have a drinking problem. I have a smoking problem. I have a drug problem. I have a sex problem. Confession. It begins the healing process. When you be able to confess that you have an issue, the healing will begin. Then you continue going down the path to healing and recovering from your addictions. When you don't confess that you don't have an issue, you don't have a problem that you have to deal with that's inner, all you're going to do is continue to hurt yourself and hinder your blessings. Get the picture? So when you can't confess that you have an issue or there's something wrong with you, you hinder your own healing. You're hindering your own process. I'm going to say that again. When you can't confess that you have an issue, you cannot heal. You cannot move forward in your life. You cannot move. You can't get over someone. You can't get over that thing. You can't get over that situation that didn't work out, because guess what? You can't even confess that you have an issue. You can't even confess that you had an issue that needs to be worked on. For those who are coming in, I was just explaining about an ideal situation, but I know other stuff had popped in along for the ride. That needed to be addressed as well. So for those that come in, you might want to watch this from the beginning for you to get what I was talking about. But just remember, healing processes When you're going through a healing process, when you're going through a breakup, whatever, stuff like that, the beginning is confession. Your confession begins the healing. I have a healing. I'm trying to get over this person. It could be various ways: death, broke up relationship, or so on. You have to be willing to confess it in order for the healing process to begin. And sometimes you need to take time. And I say it, and I don't mean it in a big way. Just go sit in the corner, be to yourself, love yourself, be happy for a while with yourself for a while before you decide, before it's time for you to want to bring somebody else in. Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for making yourself happy, not the next person. That person have no business, or it's not their responsibility to make you happy. You should be happy the moment you go into the next phase of your life. Stop requiring somebody to make you happy when you're supposed to be happy with yourself. That's why people need to go in the corner, heal, be to themselves, be happy with themselves for a while before they bring somebody else in. Because if you're not happy with yourself, how is that relationship? How is it going to work? How that relationship going to work? How that business going to work? How that career going to work? How anything's going to work and be in a good position if you haven't healed first? Heal first. Confess first. Confess first, and the healing shall begin. Well, this is your one and only Facebook minister, Minister Eric Robinson Jr. I had to drop that little wisdom nugget and give an explanation about one of my posts. But like I said, I was not going to say any names. Because when people ask me stuff and want me to do a teaching and encouraging message about it, I have no intentions of giving out names. So if you want to know what we've been talking about, because you kind of caught it at the end, start watching this live from the beginning, then you'll be like, oh, moment. Y'all have a God bless morning, afternoon, evening, and night. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.